LoreWarrior Online. GRM-01A Garm. Overview. Named for the mythological hound that guarded the entrance to the Norse realm of the dead, the Garm was designed as a light support mech for Federated Commonwealth Fire Lancers. It entered a field dominated for centuries by the famed Valkyrie, which has been a signature mech of the AFFC. The two mechs share similar capabilities. Despite its heavy firepower, the Garm met with limited success, selling mostly to mercenary units and some periphery states. Johnston Industries was prepared to kill the model when news reports from the periphery showed several lancers of the Garm handily fending off pirate raids on the Turian Concordat world of Mithrin. These reports earned the notice of the AFFC military officials, who ordered the Garm for several of their own units. Capabilities. Slightly less well-armoured than other mechs of its weight class, the Garm carries great long-range striking ability with its newly developed Mydron XL 5SG class autocannon. Pairing the autocannon with a Federated 10-shot LRM launcher, the mech can quickly shave away armour on light opponents. The Garm is also manoeuvrable. With enough ground speed to match most heavier scouts, it also comes equipped with jump jets and a necessary edge. The Garm also has two fully functional hands. Though they weren't part of the original design, engineers at Johnston saw a need for them, particularly with the growing presence of armoured infantry on the modern battlefield. The hands also complement the jump jets when navigating tricky mountainous terrain. Deployment. In its first years of production, the Garm made few inroads into the AFFC military, but did find some takers in mercenary units serving in the Chaos March. The biggest break for the Garm came when the defence forces of the Turian Concordat, a nearby periphery state, picked up several production runs. After that, the AFFC began to take serious notice of the design and ordered several hundred of the mechs to fill their frontline units. Variants. The one variant of the Garm is nearly as popular as the standard model. The 01B design replaces the autocannon with an extended range large laser, an additional ton of armour, and 2 extra heat sinks. The remaining ton is then used to mount an Artemis 4 fire control system for the LRM-10. This design retains the mech's long-distance punch, but forces the pilot to engage in careful heat management, despite the extra heat sinks. So, it's 35 tons, its chassis is a Johnston Biped L25-A2, its power plant is 175 Omni, with a cruise of 57 kph and a max speed of 89 kph. Jump jets are the Rawlings 80 Beta, with a jump capacity of 150 metres. Its armour is the Johnston DuraWeave 6000 Ferrofibrous. Armament is a single Mydron XL 5SG autocannon and a Federated LRM-10 launcher. Manufactured by Johnston Industries on New Certis. Its communication system is the Lynx Shure 4.5, and its targeting and tracking system is the Sync Tracker 55-42071. And then you see the picture. Well, you've seen the picture the whole time. That obviously I've been rambling over with the readout here. And obviously I scroll down and then there's whatever this is. Okay, so this is an LB5 apparently on that right torso. That's quite large for an LB5. AC20? Or even pushing an AC10 maybe. An LB5 that's that big. I mean that puts the Hunchback to shame. This is a 35 tonner and the size of that thing. That's ridiculous. Okay, I don't mind the head design. It's a bit weird, but it's fine. It's fine. Oh god. Oh, TRO 3060. You are the unfortunate child, aren't you? That nobody really wants, but you exist. You're out there. So, walk of 5, run of 8, jump of 5. It has 10 single heat sinks, no doubles. It has 7 armour on the head, 10 armour on the CT, 2 on the rear, 9 armour on the right and left torso, 1 on the rear, and then 6 armour on the arms and the legs. Its LB5 is right torso mounted with a total of 20 shots, also in the right torso. I don't know where the ammo's stored there. LRM-10 in the left torso, even though it looks like it's centre mounted, with the ammo in the left torso. 12 shots in total, and then it's got the mix of jump jets between the right, left leg and the centred torso. You know what? This is perfect for me. This is the kind of thing, if I was running a 3060 themed campaign, this thing would be there, front and center. It would get killed en masse. I would have a couple of these in enemy lance, in a I don't know, like a campaign where the players are raiding, say, a Taurian world, or an AWFC world, and just... Yeah, or they're just involved in some kind of border conflict or whatever they're doing, but the Garm would definitely be there, and it would definitely be running around just waiting to get killed, because it's so bad. The build isn't terrible. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad build. And I can see the other variant being a little more useful. The ER large laser is definitely, I think, more desirable than the LB5. But yeah, so I keep looking at this thing. It's this giant gaping hole on the right torso. It's like LB5. Someone is going to give me crap in the comments for this. Someone's going to be like, "Oh, come on, Rocket! It's scaled for the size of the chassis." That LB5 on a medium would look smaller, of course, but because it's on a light, it's bigger. And you know what? You're probably right, but it just looks so silly. It's got working hands. It's okay. Right there, you want me to wank off your Battlemech horses with your robot hands. This thing, this poor thing. You know, I'd love to have a model of this, and I'd love to paint it. Like, I'd give it a serious go at a nice paint job. Because I actually don't dislike the look of it. I do kind of like ugly mechs, or ones that just have an unfortunate visage. And this is definitely one of them. Oh no, you poor thing. Oh, yeah. This is one of those. I can't see players wanting to use the Garm as like a character mech. I could see this being deployed in campaigns and stuff. You're theming it around events of the 3060s, and the Garm would probably be a cheap choice. I mean, it's a battle value of 662. So it's not costing an arm and a leg as far as battle value is concerned. Yeah, so yeah, you could probably field a bunch of these and it'd be relatively cheap by comparison. I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's a tough one to justify. It's one of those mechs. I wouldn't remove it from the universe, because it's a battle mech, and it's obviously meant to be a competitor to the aging Valkyrie. I do like the write-up idea of that. The idea of a company trying to kind of supplant and bring in a new, this should be the new fire support platform for light lancers, that kind of thing. And it's got decent maneuverability, 585, and it doesn't need a hell of a lot of heat sinks because its weapons don't generate a hell of a lot of heat. So I can understand a lot of the idea around this thing, but you put it next to the Valkyrie, and you're always going to pick the Valkyrie because the Valkyrie just looks so much cooler. And yeah, it's an anime design, so yes, it looks cooler. It's a Robotech one, but I'm sure there are other 35 tonners with either a similar variant or a variant that could do the same job and looks better. It is really unfortunate. But yeah, I'd happily have a Garm miniature. I'd love to see a lot of these mechs redesigned, because I think a redesign of something like the Garm could really make it sort of viable for a lot of people. They could look at it then and go, well, actually, that looks pretty cool. I'll definitely try one of these. These look fun. One day, I assume Catalyst will get around to it. They seem to be doing all the others, so I wouldn't be surprised if 3060 gets a look in. But I've rambled long enough and laughed at this unfortunate design. Do not take my laughter as any kind of snubbing of any battle mech. I'm just amusing myself. I'm a simple creature, as many of you will have known over the years. And for people who've been hopping on in and all such in the comments, thank you for taking the time, as always, to comment. I don't really thank you all for sticking with it. Mine is a simple channel. With that isn't too flash, but I do like to do these little lore videos and talk about some battle mechs and tanks and stuff like that. So, and so thanks for sticking with me and my terrible produced content over the years. I don't ask for anything from anybody, and I don't expect anything from anybody. Just for this to be a few minutes while you move on to something else that's probably far superior in quality. But yeah, thanks for that, and I hope you have a good week, everybody, or a good weekend, depending on when you listen to this. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. So have a good one. Thanks again. Bye.